News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KVNU.
It's now 5:05 on this hot Thursday afternoon with your KVNU local headlines. I'm Will Fiore. Well, we all hate getting them, and now Utah Attorney General Derek Brown has joined 48 other attorneys general in calling for the Federal Communications Commission to crack down on illegal robocalls. According to the Attorney General's office, Americans received nearly 30 billion scam calls and texts last year, resulting in almost $2 billion in losses. Now, Utahns alone receive nearly 20 million robocalls every month. Now, the coalition is urging the FCC to implement stronger certification requirements for companies that buy and resell phone numbers. Now, they also want to ban number cycling. That's where scammers rotate through bulk purchase numbers to try to evade spam filters and restrict the use of free trial numbers. Now, Brown said the scammers buy real phone numbers and use them until spam filters catch on, and then they just move on to a new number. Now, he's pushing for federal rules to try to trace and block these paths. Well, in other news, a Utah juvenile was hospitalized yesterday afternoon following a 5-vehicle chain reaction crash that happened north of Ashton, Idaho, along Highway 20. Now, the pileup occurred just after 12 o'clock when drivers began slowing down for a separate 2-vehicle crash. Now, investigators said that a Tesla Model 3 had failed to slow down and rear-ended a westbound Honda Odyssey. Now, a GMC Sierra pulling a flatbed trailer then sideswiped both the Tesla and Honda, knocking the Tesla into the westbound travel lane. Now, in an attempt to avoid the Tesla, a Subaru Ascent swerved into the passing lane and collided with the Dodge Ram that was pulling an RV trailer. Now, a juvenile passenger inside the Honda Odyssey was transported to an area hospital for treatment. The crash ended up blocking traffic along the highway for about 3.5 hours. And finally, 2 men are facing felony federal drug distribution charges after authorities say they seized a large quantity of methamphetamine and heroin during a traffic stop and later residential search of a home in Utah County. Now, Martiano Estrada, a 51-year-old of Orem, and Alejandro Alvarado Gutierrez, a Mexican citizen residing in Lehigh, were both arrested last week. Now, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Utah, a June 29th traffic stop of Estrada's vehicle yielded 31 grams of methamphetamine and 33 grams of heroin that had been hidden under the vehicle's steering wheel. Now, a subsequent search of Alvarado Gutierrez's home uncovered an additional 1,100 grams of meth and 223 grams of heroin, along with cell phones containing drug distribution messages. Now, both men are charged with possession with the intent to distribute. Alvarado Gutierrez, who was previously removed from the United States in November of last year, is also facing a federal charge of illegally re-entering the country. Well, we've got still a small chance of some isolated showers through the rest of the afternoon and tonight, as temperatures this evening will be down into the low 60s, and more hot weather for tomorrow and into the weekend, as we'll continue to see temperatures staying right around the mid-90s tomorrow afternoon, with overnight temperatures in the low 60s. And we do still have that small chance of monsoonal storms each afternoon heading through the weekend as well. And bringing you our weather forecast here at the top of the hour is the Allies Law Firm. Whether it's an estate plan or probate and divorce services, or maybe you're just needing to work through a legal situation, the Allies Law Firm offers transparent flat fees up front, so you know what to expect from the very beginning. It's the Allies Law Firm, where they plan, they fight, and you'll win. You can trust the Allies Law Firm. And for KVNU News, I'm Will Fiore.
This is Matt Robbins with Quality First Insurance. We are now Alera Group. Need home or auto insurance? What about your business, general liability, and workers' comp? You have employees? What about their health benefits? Our team now works with more carriers, more options. You get national strength with the same small town team. Come in, same friendly faces, same local office. Or call 435-752-0101.
Keeping you informed. News Talk KVNU, 610 AM, 102.1 FM, and online at 610kvnu.com.
The silent villain of your day, burning during your 9 a.m. meeting, red and irritated through your kid's soccer game, watering during your favorite movie? Relief is closer than you think. I'm Dr. Rebecca Freeman at Northern Utah Eye Center. We've got the weapons to fight back. IPL, Lipiflow, punctal plugs, prescription drops, and more. Come see me at Northern Utah Eye Center. We'll take your dry eyes down together. Visit northernutaheyecenter.com or call 752-2020.
You're gonna love what you see.
This is Cache County Fire District Chief Brady George. Due to ongoing fire dangers, fire restriction orders have been increased to Stage 2 restrictions. These include the following acts. Building, maintaining, attending, or using fire or campfire is prohibited, including charcoal grills, pellet grills, or ash-producing fuels. All other restrictions remain in place, including no smoking, except within an enclosed vehicle, trailer, or building, a developed recreation site, or while stopped in an area that is paved or free from dry vegetation. No cutting, welding, or grinding metal in areas of dry vegetation. No operating a motorcycle, chainsaw, ATV, or other small internal combustion engine without an approved and working spark arrestor. No discharging or using fireworks, tracer ammunition, or other pyrotechnic devices, including exploding targets. Cache County Fire District urges all residents and visitors to use caution during outdoor activities. Preventing wildfires and protecting the beauty of Cache County is a shared responsibility.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Hour 2 of today's show. Kicking things off here with a very special guest. Unfortunately, the impetus for this conversation today is a tragic headline over the weekend out of Bear Lake. A woman, after an incident involving a towed tube behind a large boat, lost both of her legs, had to have them amputated at a nearby hospital. But that was the worst story of the weekend, but it came amid stories of the sheriff's department responding to a child locked in a car, a second rescue effort that involved a boat sinking and them having to actually rescue people off the water surface. Salt Lake Tribune had a story yesterday talking to residents of Garden City and southeastern Idaho around the lake, and they described the situation as a public safety hazard. The crowds, one resident saying, sometimes you can't see where one boat ends and the other begins at certain points in the lake. On the flip side of this, if you grew up here in northern Utah, heading off to Bear Lake, it is unbeatable experience. You can see why everyone wants to come and do this. And again, a lot of businesses and families in the Bear Lake Valley depend entirely on this 3-month, roughly, season to make ends meet every year. It's an important part of the economy, everyone coming to enjoy the lake. So carefully balancing these things is a challenge, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. But specifically, a lot of resources out there that you probably don't know about. Joining us right now from the Utah Department of Natural Resources Law Enforcement Division, Law Enforcement Ranger Sergeant Eric Bradshaw. And Sergeant Bradshaw, appreciate you taking some time for KVNU today. I got the idea to reach out because after the headline over the weekend, I started looking into this thinking, do we have people out there renting water, motorized water vehicles who maybe aren't operating them safely? Is it just a numbers game when you have so many people on the lake? Statistically speaking, they're bound to be events. And while I was trying to research that, I stumbled across resource after resource after resource, free through multiple state websites. So I reached out and said, can we talk to someone about all of this? Because it's basically all the programs are already there and running, right?
Yeah, correct. There's lots of programs. There's even new ones coming next year that will help boating safety.
I have to ask about this one because I think it's so creative, and I know you have experience managing state parks here in Utah yourself. But this life jacket, I call it a life jacket library system. So it's sort of how it works, right?
Yeah, so actually state parks, a lot of state parks already had like life jacket loaner programs. But then they made a really good push this year to have them at all state parks that have bodies of water. So if you don't have a life jacket, if you're just joining your friends on the boat, you can grab one, use it for the day, have it available. Or even if you forget yours, you can grab it, use it for the day, and just return it when you're done.
That is very cool. And a great example, again, of a program that many people might not know about, but literally would save a life. In fact, unfortunately, just earlier this year, there was a death in June at Bear Lake that a life jacket would have prevented. So these are programs that are out there up and running now. But above and beyond this life jacket loaner program, the state has a huge library of safety training that is offered for free, whether that be ATV safety or watercraft safety from large to small, kayaking, paddleboarding, all of these things. The resources are plentiful. How are these developed, Sergeant?
Just throughout the years, we see a need, especially with like paddlecraft. Paddlecraft is actually one of our number one fatals.
Really?
A lot of people die more from paddlecraft than motorized sports, simply because they don't have a life jacket on board.
Oh, okay.
So the Department of Recreation and they've come up with these programs just to help improve safety and things like that.
Okay. And again, for listeners, these programs, most of them are free and have a lot of great information about, operating everything from a small paddle flotation board to small watercraft, jet skis, things like that, large boats. And this is information that can save your life. But I have to mention this, Sergeant. While going through some of the content on the Utah Department of Outdoor Recreation website, the Utah Department of Natural Resources, even Public Safety's website, I ran across this video that it is meant to show what you can expect if you're being irresponsible on the water and are stopped by a park ranger. And in this video, they start going through the checklist of everything you should have for safety purposes on that craft. And it is a lengthy conversation between this ranger and the boat operator. But again, that's kind of the point, right? To show there are inherent risks involved with this. We're out there having fun, but there are inherent risks.
Oh yeah, there's definitely risks. We do the vessel inspection just to make sure you have all the proper equipment on board, and it ranges. I mean, the smaller the vessel, the less things that are required.
Sure.
Every vessel, including paddleboards and kayaks, canoes, and even large boats, you have to have at least one life jacket on board for everybody. If you're 12 and younger, you have to be wearing them. And then with boating is very seasonal. So people will winterize their boat, put it up for the winter, and a lot of times they'll bring them out, and they'll forget to put those important items back into the boat.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's
yeah.
reason why we like to do these annually. Anytime we talk to a boater, we like to run it through, make sure they have all the proper safety equipment on board.
Makes sense. To me, watching the video is educational because having never owned a boat, I didn't realize how many things were required, and I thought, there are probably a lot of people out there who maybe are in the same position and are taking a boat out on the weekends. So the video was meant as an educational tool to remind people of these inherent risks and, these very simple steps you can take to reduce the risk. There are also, in the boating education content I found online at recreation.utah.gov and many other places, Sergeant, there are these pretty amazing, video courses, for lack of a better word, right?
Yeah, so you have to be 18 to operate a PWC.
Okay.
You can operate a PWC if you're 12, but you have to take a course, and it's a personal watercraft course you have to take, and then that's good from 12 to 18. And then the legislator passed this legislative session. It'll go into effect next year. Is a boater operated course.
Okay.
So that'll be new coming in next year. That everyone that operates a boat has to take a boater education course.
Okay, so it'll be required. That is something. Now, as my understanding as well is a lot of this has been developed working with people who have from park rangers, people who've had experience at state parks like yourself. but also working with companies who rent personal watercraft and otherwise, and getting their stories of what they're seeing out there. And that's how these courses were developed, as I understand it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants everyone involved in the industry, the watercraft industry wants everyone to have a safe time and come back,
Sure.
with the equipment and things like that. So the state of Utah has worked with multiple partners, and like you said, private companies will come out. I mean, a lot of times we're using their boat, because we don't have that boat and things like that. So it is a good partnership just to help increase boater safety in Utah.
Sure, that is, and outside of a handful, it's fair to say most of the stories we see involving accidents, injury, and death on Utah's waterways, our state parks, and otherwise. Most of the headlines you see, Sergeant, to not to be insensitive, but they are preventable.
Unfortunately, yes, a lot of them are preventable. Like I was talking about, paddlecraft. We have a lot of fatalities on paddlecraft, and they're not wearing a life jacket. They're not required to because you're an adult or something like that. But if they would happen to just be wearing a life jacket, it improves your odds a lot.
This is for listeners out there maybe not aware, at least as far as 2025 report presented to the legislature. Outdoor recreation in Utah, including these lakes and reservoirs and all of that, it's more than $10 billion industry here. Has more than $10 billion of economic impact here in Utah. That's something that keeps a lot of roads paid for, keeps a lot of cities able to keep their lights on and offer services for their residents. It's a huge part of life, of course, in Garden City and a lot of the Bear Lake Valley, and it does, come with challenges. Sergeant, in your experience with the parks in general, we've seen massive attendance growth at almost every state park every year for many. Is it getting to a point where it possibly might be unmanageable? Or can we keep a handle on it?
Well, I think 2020 was probably the busiest year state parks has ever had.
Sure. Busiest year for search and rescue. I know that, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, and I think things kind of change. Water levels are a big reason, As water levels get low, they get lower and things like that. But kind of like you mentioned, like a lot of these cities rely on this. But then it.
Oh, no. We lost the sergeant. All right. Sit tight, listeners. We'll try and get him back. Mid-conversation, unfortunately. That's some phone line issues this week, not just here in northern Utah. We'll see what we can do to get the sergeant back online. Hold tight. We'll be back with more of KVNU's For the People right after this.
News Talk 610 AM, 102.1 FM, KVNU.
Some sounds just belong together. The roar of the rodeo crowd, the rumble of a hard-working truck, and the biggest truck sale of the year. It's time for West Motor Company's Rodeo Days sale. Save up to $18,000 on select Ram half-tons and up to $13,000 on select heavy duties. Or drive home a new Ford with 0% financing for 36 months, plus $1,000 toward your first payment. Every qualifying purchase includes rodeo tickets and rodeo jackets while supplies last. The biggest savings of the year are now during Rodeo Days at West Motor Company in Preston.
West Motor Company.
Look, let's clear something up. IV therapy, hormones, peptides, ozone, this isn't about luxury wellness. It's about function. This is Dr. Josh Red with Red River Health and Wellness, and we're expanding our services to include these advanced therapies that support how your body actually works. Low energy, inflammation, hormones, recovery, immune health. These treatments are used intentionally with medical oversight and integrated into our existing approach to whole body care. If you're tired of quick fixes and vague answers, this is something different. This is about supporting your health at a deeper level so you can feel better, think clear, and live stronger. Red River Health and Wellness, because your health deserves more than guesswork. Learn more or schedule a consultation at redriverhealthandwellness.com.
Call Red River Health and Wellness at 855-55-RIVER.
Call Red River today.
Hey Utah, have you heard? Nuclear energy might be coming to our state. Now, before your brain jumps straight into sci-fi movies, let's talk about what nuclear actually does. Nuclear technology helps power our nation's submarines, supports life-saving cancer treatments, and produces reliable electricity for millions of homes. That said, nuclear power also comes with a lot of misconceptions. Don't worry, we get it. Energy decisions matter, and Utahns deserve the facts. Learn more about nuclear and what it can mean for you. Visit energy.utah.gov/nuclear.
Flat tire? Let Ron Keller Tire show you just how fast they can fix it. Don't get the runaround. They'll have your tire repaired before you can finish scrolling your phone. No check-in, no appointment. Just pull right into the bay. Fast, easy, and back on the road. Why wait? Why schedule? Pull right into Ron Keller Tire in Logan on 2500 North. That's Airport Road. Or in Tremonton, Malad, and Preston. Fast, friendly, and always ready.
Why wait? Ron Keller Tire. Why wait?
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. We're going to jump right back in because I was so fascinated by our conversation with Sergeant Eric Bradshaw of the Utah Department of Natural Resources Law Enforcement Division, a person with experience as a ranger, a park manager, and currently overseeing a lot of the safety resources that exist out there. Having this conversation again in light of yet another weekend with tragic headlines out of Bear Lake. CashValleyDaily.com if you would like to see those stories. We had 2 deaths at the lake in June. Salt Lake Tribune had a story talking about the crowds and the locals' concern over public safety. The conversation we're having here today with Sergeant Bradshaw is there are a lot of resources available right now through the state that, no exaggeration, would save lives. And people need to start using them. So, Sergeant Bradshaw, I appreciate you being patient. Apologies for the drop call there. We have you back now. And the most important part of the conversation we were just about to get to, which is if someone out there is, they're reading these headlines, they're thinking, you know, I want to go out. I want to enjoy the water. I want to, paddleboard. I want to boat, jet ski, tube, whatever it might be. But I want to do it safely. I don't want my family to be one of these headlines and lose someone I care about. Where should they start? What's a good first step for someone in that situation looking to do this safely?
Yeah, so, I mean, before venturing out, some of the biggest things is just to bring a life jacket that fits you. Wear that life jacket that fits you. Make sure everyone has a fitting jacket for them before going out to the lakes. Another thing you really want to do, especially this time of year with monsoons, is check the weather and check it multiple times if you can, if you have service, just because it changes so fast with these monsoons.
Sure.
Definitely keep an eye on the weather because that tends to be a factor in a lot of these accidents. But then you can go to the state website, the DNR website, Outdoor Recreation, and look for all the safety things that you need to have on your boat or things that you should take as well. And then you can also go to the state parks website and check their conditions. They usually have updated current conditions with water temperature, water level, and things like that as well. So those are good pre-planning before you head out. And then just have all that equipment with you, and better if you just wear it.
It is, again, an example of how easy this can be to increase the safety as you go out. Again, inherent risk with anything, whether you're out just on foot on the trails here around Cache Valley, or whether you're out on, at Echo State Park or at Bear Lake on the water, there are always going to be inherent risks, but we can take steps to reduce those risks, to keep ourselves and our family safe and other people as well. And as the sergeant has mentioned, starting next year, there is going to be a required education course for certain watercraft operation here in Utah. There are a lot of free voluntary options available right now if you want to get out on the trails, on the lakes, on the reservoirs, and do it safely. Some really easy tips to do that. I've linked to a lot of these resources on our Facebook page, but a simple Google search will take you to recreation.utah.gov, the Utah Department of Natural Resources safety pages, and more. And Sergeant Bradshaw, before we part ways with you here today, you have a lot of experience. In fact, we were joking here in the studio before giving you a call that we needed to find out which title you wanted us to use today, because you have a vast amount of experience. If you could offer one bit of advice to everyone out there listening that you think would just greatly improves everybody's experience and and the odds that everyone comes home safely with nothing more than maybe a little scratch, what would you say to everyone out there listening so that we can still go out and recreate, but do it without, these tragic stories?
Yeah. The biggest one is, just wear a life jacket. Even in the spring or the summer, it may not, it'll buy you time for someone else to help you. A lot of times your rescuer is another recreational boater.
Sure.
And it's not actually like law enforcement. So it's a very good community. We just need to take care of each other. So be planning to help you, but also maybe help another boater.
As well said. Really appreciate taking so much time for us today. I've taken more than we asked for, and so we owe you one. If we can ever do anything else, just give us a call, and we'll stop what we're doing and let you on air. But a pleasure to speak with you today. A bit of a celebrity in outdoor recreation circles, in fact. So an honor to have you join us here on the show. Again, for our listeners, our guest has been Sergeant Eric Bradshaw of the Utah Department of Natural Resources Law Enforcement Division, someone with experience as a ranger, manager of Rockport and Echo State Parks, talking to us today about a lot of the safety resources that are available, things that will keep you and your family safe, from life jacket lending programs to just, honestly, training yourself to never go out without the life jacket if you're headed out on the water, but also information on these sites about vessel registration, boater education courses, emergency preparedness, what you should have on your watercraft. As the sergeant mentioned, the list is different depending on what you're going out on, and many people don't know what is both legally required but also just a good idea to have on the boat with you. All of this, though, you can get to through recreation.utah.gov, Utah Department of Natural Resources website, Utah Department of Public Safety's website. And once again, thanks to our guest, Sergeant Eric Bradshaw. An honor to have you join us here today, and thank you for taking so much time for KVNU's listeners.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, we'll speak again soon, and enjoy your weekend. I hope it's a quiet one.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to our listeners as well for being here. Stick around. More of KVNU's For the People after this look at the news with KVNU's Will Feel Right.
Well, thanks, Jason. Two Utah advocacy groups and their founders have filed a lawsuit now against businessman Kevin O'Leary and Fox News, alleging a smear campaign that had falsely accused them of acting as Chinese Communist Party agents. Now, the groups, Alliance for a Better Utah and Elevate Strategies, along with their founders, Joshua Cantor and Gabrielle Finlayson, have filed the lawsuit in response to televised claims that were made by O'Leary. Now, the plaintiffs argue that O'Leary repeatedly asserted that they were funded by China to try to discredit local opposition to a proposed Box Elder County data center. Now, the lawsuit claims that Fox News inflated these false allegations to millions of viewers. Now, although O'Leary later admitted that he lacked evidence for the claims, the plaintiffs said that the admission only came after they had sent a legal demand. Now, they're seeking damages for emotional distress, business losses, and threats to their physical safety. In other news, a 53-year-old Lewiston man is facing up to life in prison after pleading guilty to physically and sexually abusing a young girl over several years. Jose Rafael Ramirez pleaded guilty last month in Logan's First District Court to amended charges of aggravated child abuse and 3 counts of forcible sexual abuse. Now, Cache County Sheriff's deputies began investigating Ramirez back in August of 2024. Now, according to charging documents, the victim had reported that Ramirez repeatedly molested and raped her, and at one point forced her to drink tequila during an assault. Now, Ramirez, whom authorities have identified as being a non-U.S. citizen in the country illegally, has been held without bail in the Cache County Jail since he was arrested last December. Now, he's scheduled to be sentenced coming up in August. And the U.S. House passed a bill on Tuesday to make daylight savings permanent nationwide, sending the legislation now to the Senate, where it faces an uncertain future. Now, if the bill were to pass the Senate and be signed by President Donald Trump, then the change would delay winter sunrises in Utah until approximately 9 a.m., forcing many children to commute to school in the dark. Now, Utah has already approved a law to adopt year-round daylight saving time, but the state measure cannot take effect until Congress passes federal legislation. Now, the prospect of dark mornings, though, has raised safety concerns among some parents and grandparents. Now, while the State Board of Education has not taken a position, some school districts have noted some potential benefits for afternoon athletics alongside operational challenges. Now, officials have suggested future strategies could include adjusting school start times and bus schedules during the winter months to prioritize student safety. Well, going to continue to see warm temperatures over the next couple of days, as tonight temps are going to drop into the low 60s, and tomorrow more sunshine with a small possibility again of some isolated storms in the afternoon, as temperatures Friday will be right around the mid-90s again. And looking ahead to the weekend, going to continue to see hot temperatures Saturday, Sunday, with temps staying right around the mid-90s during the day and overnight temperatures in the low 60s. And weather here at the bottom of the hour is brought to you by Ron Keller Tire. It's a name you can trust, committed to keeping your vehicles running smooth and safe. Why wait? Why schedule? Just pull up to an open bay at Ron Keller Tire, and they'll get you in and out quickly. They're located in Logan, Preston, Tremonton, and Malad. It's Ron Keller Tire. And I'm Will Feelwright for KVNU News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. An air quality alert as dangerous Canadian wildfire smoke is blanketing the Midwest and Northeast. ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
The wildfires burning in northern Minnesota and Canada, and that smoke billowing down to Chicago, to places like Detroit, where you can't see anything either. Their air quality at one point overnight was at 600 AQI. Just to give perspective, 300 is unhealthy. They more than doubled that at one point.
Catastrophic flash flood swamping Texas. Some areas recording a year's worth of rain in just a couple of days. The state's governor reporting 2 people have died. President Trump preparing to deliver a primetime address tonight. Sources say he'll speak about new information he received regarding the 2020 election. The man who's been running President Trump's teleprompter at speeches, settling with federal regulators after they say he made tens of thousands of dollars on placing bets on several of the president's speeches on the prediction market. This is ABC News.
Did you know you can cut your Rocky Mountain power bill by 40 to 50% without a single solar panel? With the new time of use rates, power is 4.5 times more expensive in the evening, but cheap during the day. At Greenbox Solar, we install smart home batteries that charge up when electricity is cheap, then power your home during peak hours. Solar is totally optional and can be added in the future, but savings are guaranteed. Drop by Greenbox Solar's showroom in South Logan to see the hardware for yourself. Visit our website at poweredbygreenbox.com.
Keeping your lawn green doesn't mean using more water. Anderson Seed and Garden has the smart solutions to help your lawn and plants beat this summer heat. Products like Humic, Hydrotain, and Back to Green improve your soil, help it hold moisture, and can even reduce watering needs by up to 50% while keeping your lawn healthy and vibrant. Let the experts help you grow a greener lawn with less water. Anderson Seed and Garden, a 7-time Best of Northern Utah winner. Online at AndersonSeedandGarden.com.
Hey there, Cache County. This is Reese Page, your Cache County Fair and Rodeo Queen. America is turning 250 years old, and there is no better place to celebrate our Western heritage than the Cache County Fair and Rodeo. Join me, Miss Rodeo Utah, Dally Holyoke, and Miss Rodeo America, Olivia Favero, for 4 unforgettable nights of rodeo. Action starting at 8 o'clock, August 5th through the 8th.
So come on out, let's have some fun at the Cache County Fair.
We can't wait to see you there.
Look, let's clear something up. IV therapy, hormones, peptides, ozone, this isn't about luxury wellness. It's about function. This is Dr. Josh Redd with Red River Health and Wellness, and we're expanding our services to include these advanced therapies that support how your body actually works. Low energy, inflammation, hormones, recovery, immune health. These treatments are used intentionally with medical oversight and integrated into our existing approach to whole body care. If you're tired of quick fixes and vague answers, this is something different. This is about supporting your health at a deeper level so you can feel better, think clear, and live stronger. Red River Health and Wellness, because your health deserves more than guesswork. Learn more or schedule a consultation at redriverhealthandwellness.com.
Call Red River Health and Wellness at 855-55-RIVER.
Call Red River today.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology is Cache Valley's most trusted name in hearing aid technology. Schedule a free hearing evaluation with Dr. Paul Danes, where he can customize a hearing improvement program to meet your needs. Call 753-HEAR or visit CacheHearing.com.
Back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
One mountain, one challenge, one epic finish. Are you tough enough to battle the Beav? On Saturday, September 12th, conquer Beaver Mountain on a 4.75-mile climb that'll push your strength, endurance, and determination to the limit. The Little Beav Run for kids 12 and under starts at 9:30 with the main event beginning at 10 a.m. Space is limited, so register today at raceentry.com. That's raceentry.com. Winner will receive a season pass to Beaver Mountain Ski Resort. Battle the Beav, September 12th at Beaver Mountain. Can you beat the Beav?
Bad decisions limit future options. Make enough bad decisions and you will destroy your life. Listen to The Flot Line with your host Rick Hughes every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. here on KVNU. The Flot Line describes a main line of resistance in your soul built on God's Word. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flot Line with Rick Hughes every Sunday at 9 a.m. on News Talk KVNU.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. A lot of questions via phone and text during the break there about Sergeant Bradshaw's announcement there that a boater certification course will be required starting next year to take watercraft out on the water. Listeners wanted to know which type of boats this applies to. Are we talking jet skis and small personal watercraft, or just boats that can hold multiple individuals? It is, for now, the latter, but the legislature is talking about including small personal watercraft in that as well. It would be a different course for different types of boat, of course. Most of these will be available online. For some watercraft, there will be very limited courses in which you're going to have to go somewhere locally. You're not going to have to drive to Salt Lake and actually attend a class, but those are pretty specialized pieces of watercraft. So for general stuff, this will be an online option and certification process that similar to almost any other license you get. And that will be a requirement starting January 1st, 2027 for boaters. So something to be aware of. This is another listener asking where they can find more information about that. Here's the easiest thing. I learned this getting ready for the interview with Sergeant Bradshaw today. If you simply do a search for Utah boater safety, ignore the first one or two results because those are always ads for some company that profits off of this. And make sure the second, I think it's the third option down in your search results, is a recreation.utah.gov link. Go to that one. It's basically a one-stop shop list of everything from vessel registration requirements to the Life Vest Loaner program at every state park if you forget one for one of your family. Also the upcoming certification requirements on that course that will be required starting in 2027, but also some videos that you can watch now that you'll see quickly as you watch them. You can understand how this could easily prevent some of the tragedies that we've seen in the headlines from Bear Lake alone just this year or just this summer, including the most simple one, wear a life vest. As Sergeant Bradshaw mentioned, oftentimes on the water, the first responder to your incident is going to be someone else on the water. And if no one knows what to do, well, then you just have a whole bunch of people in trouble, right? And another boat there saying, I wish we could help. So know what to do, not only to avoid the situation, but if you do find yourself in the situation, more likely to get help from another boater who, again, is the most likely person to be a first responder to your situation. So I did not set this up, I promise, but, rising tides lift all ships. I really didn't set that up. That wasn't an intentional bad joke. That just popped into my head on the fly, and I couldn't not once it popped into my head. But in all seriousness, this is serious stuff, and these headlines are tragic. And as Sergeant Bradshaw said, not that it helps any of the victims, but for everyone else and going forward, remember, most of these are preventable with some simple steps. We're all guilty of it. We all take risks we don't need to. As a teenager, I used to float the Oneida Narrows without a life vest until someone explained to me that every death that had happened on the Oneida Narrows, someone drowning, was someone not wearing a life vest. And 0 people in life vests have died on the Oneida Narrows, floating it in tubes. So I started wearing one. It's none of us are perfect. No one has a high horse they can sit on here. But literally, we're talking about really easy things you can do that would save your life, save a family member's life, or allow you to save someone else's life should you come upon some sort of water incident involving a boat or a jet ski or paddleboard or whatever. And again, remember, there was a woman quoted in the Salt Lake Tribune story I talked about yesterday that Sergeant Bradshaw also brought this up. There was a woman quoted, she was minding her own business on a paddleboard and then woke up in the hospital with a concussion. Don't be that boat driver. How do you not see? Just pay attention and remember it's shared space and everybody else out there is there for the same reason. Have a good time, not get a concussion because you're not paying attention with your jet ski. That's what hit her. It's all around. We can make this a better experience and reduce the number of tragic headlines we see coming out of the weekends lately over there in Bear Lake. So, all right. This one, longtime listeners will know I'm very resistant to social panic. Because so many times in my life, social panic has ended up being just a huge waste of time for everyone else. I came into this bias, though. In my early college days, I had to write that's how long it's been since I'm in college. I can't remember what they call them. Persuasive paper. I had to write a persuasive paper in a speech and debate class. And we drew topics out of the hat. And my persuasive paper. Now, remember, when you're doing Lincoln Douglas debate or persuasive writing and teaching, oftentimes the assignment is intentionally absurd. You're arguing the ridiculous. You're arguing something obviously not true, but that's to hone your skills in crafting an argument. If you have to argue for something that is ridiculous and argue it seriously in order to win the points to score well on the assignment, that's a really hard thing to do, but it does teach you how to debate. And in one of these courses, one of these exercises in a speech and debate course at Utah State University, I was assigned defending the social scare of the 80s that I'd only read about, which was this nationwide panic over arcades, teens in arcades, and Pac-Man. How silly that looks today to think Pac-Man was once rumored to be the end of Western civilization, and we'd have these were our literal predictions. These were things literally said by elected officials from members of Congress to mayors of large cities like New York. In the 80s, people said with a straight face that these arcades and Pac-Man were going to lead to, and I quote, roving hordes of violent teens. And I remember doing this research for this persuasive argument I had to make in defense of the idea that Pac-Man and arcades were going to lead to, quote, roving hordes of violent teens. And I couldn't roll my eyes and laugh at it. I had to actually mount a serious argument in class. I will never forget how much I learned about how quickly this social panic built up and how quickly it fizzled and how silly everyone who took it seriously felt. That said, this latest one unnerves me. This is detailed in the Deseret News today, and the title is ominous. A social media post, thousands of teens, then chaos. From beach closures to assaults on police officers, communities are confronting a growing phenomenon that experts say runs far deeper than simple teen delinquency. Or to put that another way, this might be a larger problem than just kids will be kids. Teens are always going to rebel, right? They're always going to do things they shouldn't. They're always going to do stupid things, even risky things. It's part of being a teen, and good luck stopping them. But you do try to educate them, and our conversation about life vests. Every teen you talk to will tell you they don't need one, but you put one on them anyway because you know better. You're the adult. That said, and again, with my qualifier that you should take social panics with a Volkswagen-sized grain of salt, this one is creepy. Teen takeover is what it's called, and it's become a bit of a broad term for basically young people, self-organized gatherings. These aren't planned by adults. They aren't like a city event or a school event. These are all youth organized using social media usually, or even, communication apps that are encrypted and harder for law enforcement to be snooping in on because they aren't chats or things like that. They're not really doing anything illegal. They're just organizing meetups, basically. And what's happening, though, is that they're seeing these crowds of teens show up at it's been everything from parks to malls to beaches, a 4th of July Independence Day celebration that was literally taken over by teens, many of them from out of state. And to the teens, it's funny. We took over your space. Now we're playing loud EDM music and dancing. Other times, it's nothing really even mean. Just, hey, let's all meet at this beach. But then you have thousands of teens show up on this beach, some from hundreds of miles away. It's a trend. It's social media based, like many things. It probably has a lifespan and will fizzle. But the problem has gotten so bad that even United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, Trump appointed Jeanine Pirro, back in May, mentioned this and basically said to parents, you need to be paying attention to this. We have reason to believe that these either have been infiltrated by or originally were spawned by folks who maybe have a darker intent than teens just randomly meeting up somewhere to have a good time. Now, some people have responded saying that this is a right-wing social media freak out, similar to Pac-Man and arcades in the 80s, going to produce roving hordes of violent teens. But law enforcement has weighed in and said, no, this is actually a concern. It is being overblown a bit by social media, especially, the more right-leaning sides of social media. But law enforcement says there have been incidents that are concerning. Social media's ability to amplify what would normally be 15 teens meeting at a local park to swing on the swing set and talk about dating instead turns into thousands of teens storming and then occupying and then sometimes not leaving overnight a beach. It includes drugs. Many times, so many people have showed up that violence has occurred. There have been shootings at these events. And again, the problem is they're being organized on the fly, day of, on social media channels that are almost impossible for law enforcement to track or even for parents to be aware of. The goal, again, for the teens is just to, isn't it funny? We just suggested an idea on social media, and now 2,500 people are sitting in your city's park, many of them from hundreds of miles away. It is kind of funny. You can see how this would become a trend. Let's see if we can do this. But again, federal law enforcement at least says that they have reason to believe that these have either been hijacked occasionally, not always, but hijacked by or originally instigated by people with darker intent, sometimes using local teens as a cover for drug dealing operations, as a cover for possibly even trafficking operations, though there's no proof of that. It was hinted at by Piro. And also possibly as a recruiting tool for organizations ranging from white supremacists out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, that literally happened, to drug dealers hoping to get kids, teens, 17-year-olds to sample their product. I don't know what you do about this, but it is a concerning trend. And it's half impressive in a way that some kid can post on social media. They're not using Facebook anymore. And so this is going to be Snap or Instagram or TikTok or a Telegram channel, Twitch, something like that. And they're posting a comment saying, hey, let's all meet at this park in this suburb of Denver or Salt Lake City or Logan, Utah, just outside of, we'll meet in the Hillcrest Park. And then 2,500 people, some of them from Colorado, Idaho, Wyoming, Nevada, maybe even Arizona. Nobody's driving from Arizona for this, but maybe. And suddenly 2,500 teens are in a small city park having a party for the night. It's very funny in a way. And it's amazing, actually, that social media can work this way. But there appears to be, at least occasionally, a darker side to this. Again, I don't know what the solution is. Awareness is what they're going for right now. Just letting parents know, hey, this is happening. And at least a handful of times, it hasn't been at all as innocent as it seems. So keep an eye on yo kids. We'll be back right after this.
Speed Queen. Commercial grade motor, stainless steel guts. This machine don't quit. No ifs, ands, or buts. Commercial grade from top to base. Built to keep a steady pace. So buy Speed Queen, buy Speed Queen. Toughest darn washer you've ever seen. Buy Speed Queen at Daryl's Appliance in beautiful Cache Valley.
When you buy from Daryl's Appliance, you get more than just a washer. You get service after the sale. Daryl's, west on Airport Road.
This is Cache County Fire District Chief Brady George. Due to ongoing fire dangers, fire restriction orders have been increased to Stage 2 restrictions. These include the following acts. Building, maintaining, attending, or using fire or campfire is prohibited, including charcoal grills, pellet grills, or ash-producing fuels. All other restrictions remain in place, including no smoking except within an enclosed vehicle, trailer, or building, a developed recreation site, or while stopped in an area that is paved or free from dry vegetation. No cutting, welding, or grinding metal in areas of dry vegetation. No operating a motorcycle, chainsaw, ATV, or other small internal combustion engine without an approved and working spark arrestor. No discharging or using fireworks, tracer ammunition, or other pyrotechnic devices, including exploding targets. Cache County Fire District urges all residents and visitors to use caution during outdoor activities. Preventing wildfires and protecting the beauty of Cache County is a shared responsibility.
Northern Utah, this is attorney Jace Allen, and thank you for voting the Allies Law Firm Gold winner in 5 categories of the best of Northern Utah, including estate planning, family law, criminal defense, personal injury, and best law firm overall. Whether you need help protecting your family, navigating divorce, defending your rights, or pursuing justice after an injury, our team is here to help. From all of us at the Allies Law Firm, thank you for your support and your vote. The Allies Law Firm. We plan, we fight, you win.
Logan, Ogden, stand by for details on how much it costs to borrow $1,000 from Dollar Loan Center. We offer signature loans up to $5,000 in minutes, and you don't need great credit or collateral. No checking account required, no application fees, and you only pay interest for the time you have the loan out. So if you need $1,000, it'll only cost you $7.56 per day. You can keep it out for a week, a month, a year. That's up to you. For new customers, the first week's interest is even on us. Give DLC a shot. You'll be glad you did. Stop by in Logan on US 89 by McDonald's or in Ogden on 12th at Lincoln. You can also get up to $5,000 in minutes at don'tbebroke.com and save the drive.
Licensed by the Utah Department of Financial Institutions. Payment amounts based on biweekly pay frequency with annual percentage rate of 275%. For additional cost information, call 866-550-4352. Subject to approval, limitations may apply.
Thank you for being with us today. That's our time. Tomorrow on the program, Lagoon celebrating 140 years this summer, how the park has changed over the years. And Andy and I will review The Odyssey. That's the For the People movie show at 5. Dave Ramsey is next.